Okay, we're here at the Wisconsin Farm Technology Days with Steve Pescick, and they've got a new product out here on the lot, and Steve's going to tell us a little bit about it. Steve, go ahead.
Hi, my name's Steve Pescick. I'm sales manager at McFarlane Manufacturing. This is our new Quadra-Till primary tillage disc chisel tool. The Quadra-Till is made to be a companion product with our popular reel disc for vertical tillage or for conventional tillage users. The Quadra-Till consists of 4 different components. It has 2 sets of disc gangs on the front. The disc gangs are adjustable both in angle and independently adjustable for depth so that you get residue cutting and sizing and mixing, followed by chisel shanks, which are set at 15-inch centers. 15-inch centers is important so that we can get full soil fracture at 8 to 10-inch depth. So they do not require 12 to 14-inch depth to get full soil fracture. So we fractured, we mixed, we sized, and we buried residue. We fractured our soil. And on the back end, we level with our leveling discs in combination with our 4-bar heavy-duty harrow. We leave the field level so that one pass with the Quadra-Till in the fall, followed by one pass in the spring with a reel disc to finish is all that's required to create the perfect seed bed. We've found a lot of market for this with people who have begun using vertical tillage tools and do not want to always run a ripper type tool where they need to run 14 to 16 inches deep, but they still want to do a good job of getting soil fracture and leveling. So we make this tool in a 7 shank, which we see here. We also make it in 11 shank, 9 shank, 11 shank, and 13 shank. And the tool is available for sale now.
Okay.
Check us out at McFarlane Manufacturing at flexarrow.com.
What's the retail cost on the Quadra-Till, Steve?
The Quadra-Till, the retail on this 7 shank machine is $31.9, and it goes all the way up to $54.9 for our 13 shank.
Okay. And your dealers, they're getting a hold of this now? Or?
Yes, the dealers. These are being shipped to dealers now. We've been shipping for about a month. Some have already arrived at dealerships, and we'll be shipping ahead of the fall season.
Okay. And you got any comments on the unusual weather patterns and how it might influence machinery sales here going forward?
It's a good question. We're not sure exactly how it's going to affect us. Obviously, here in Wisconsin, there's a big difference between the southern part of the state and the northern part of the state. We know a good share of the corn belt is really under stress. And talking to a lot of growers, we're not sure what the outcome is going to be yet as far as how it's going to affect their crop, their income, and then also how they're going to manage what they have, what's going to happen with the crop, what's going to happen with the residue, what kind of tillage are they going to have to do to prepare for next year. So there's really a lot of question mark out there yet, and we probably aren't going to know for another 30 days of where this is all going to shake out, but it certainly is way different than anything we've experienced in a long, long time. No doubt about that.
Yeah, with these drought conditions, I mean, we've seen, last summer, obviously it wasn't affected throughout all of the farming regions, Texas, Oklahoma. But seeing this kind of weather pattern emerging more in the heartland here, do you think that might start to influence some of the tillage practices and maybe bring people more in line with some less conventional tillage and maybe go into vertical or strip till? Or
it's very possible, and I think a lot of that depends on when we eventually do get rain. When does it come? How does it leave the ground? And what people's intentions are going to be for recovery and getting ready for next year. And so I think that's going to vary a lot, as it always does. It's going to vary a lot by certain areas that we're in, and crop rotations and things like that. And obviously incomes for a lot of these people are going to be down somewhat. So doing things like what we're talking about here, using our system where we're only doing one pass in the fall, one pass in the spring, really helps people to control their costs and yet still do a superior job of creating a seed bed so that they have a good chance of increasing their yields for next year.
Okay. Steve, thanks for braving the heat and talking with us today.
Thank you. Thanks for the